astronaut Judith Resnick back in '86. And this is Judith Resnick, the Yale professor, about 10 years, maybe 15 years ago. And now let's look at some voice comparisons. One clip of the astronaut at the start, followed by a clip of the professor. And I have to say, they do sound incredibly similar. Come to your own conclusions here.
Well, I too am glad to be here one more time, and I am hoping that the affliction that Steve Hawley had from the 41D mission specialist of the delays hasn't rubbed off on me. And
there were fewer than 40 federal judges around the United States, and they didn't need a building of their own. They were tucked into facilities like this. And of course, what the U.S. government did was this was a form of tax, and Marine Hospitals health care.
And I think the guys behind me are hoping that it hasn't also. Otherwise, they might throw me.
Of course, is the Civil War, and with the Civil War and the North conquest of the South.
Otherwise, they might throw me off the flight.
The U.S. federal government owned
and I will now introduce
about 50 buildings
around
the entire
hoping that it has
United
as they might
States.
Throw me
And
off
none
the
of the
flight.
Is that you, Judith?
Let me say that it's really a pleasure to be back. Looking forward to going to fly this one. I think we got some real interesting payloads. The mission is a great mission. We're looking forward to it, and I think we're ready to go fly. Thanks for being out here today.
Well, we initially, this is an offshoot of what's been happening in Los Angeles. We have a Onizuka Memorial Committee there that does a science day at El Camino College every year in April. So we thought, well, if they're doing it there, then we should try it here, and that's how it started 13 years ago. So.
It's really a pleasure to be back. Looking forward to going to fly this one. I think we got some real interesting payloads.
Bring an astronaut out with NASA and to help educate the public, the students, open the doors for them that, opportunities are out there. And a science day, we have breakout sessions where the students can go and to different classes and learn science projects and things. And it's just
mission. We're looking forward to it, and I think we're ready to go fly. Thanks for being out here today.
A fun day, educational fun day for the students. And we've had a good turnout every year, and we expect to do this again as long as we can.
Mission. We're looking forward to it, and I think we're ready to go fly. Thanks for being out here today.
Well, Ellison grew up in Kona, so-called out of the coffee fields of Kona, and he studied hard. He was active in the community, and he always was very inquisitive of anything that he came across, toys, machinery. He'd try to take it apart and put it back together, but he was always interested in aircrafts, and that's how he ended up in the Air Force. He got a full scholarship from the Air Force to the University of Colorado, and he went into aerospace engineering, and eventually upon graduation ended up in the Air Force and at test pilot school at Edwards Air Force Base, and applied with the astronaut program, and he was selected out of some 8,500 candidates. They picked a final 35 astronauts, and he was one of the final 35. He's very pleased. His thing about once becoming an astronaut, he always came back to Hawaii, and rather than go golfing or diving, he wanted to go visit school children and share his experiences and knowledge, and just to help inspire the younger children.
Oh, this is not even, we shouldn't even compare this one. This is too obvious.
Last but not least, Michael J. Smith, once again, did not even bother changing his name, and he also works as a professor at a law school. How about that?
Yeah, he aged really well. Wow.
Well, these are all the same pictures, actually, of the same.
Oh, okay. Good.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. This is just the intro to the astronaut, and then next we're going to look at.
Yeah.
Can you zoom in there on that one? This next one. Sorry. Here we go. So we got Michael J. Smith, College of Engineering. Actually, is a professor emeritus at University of Wisconsin-Madison. So a fellow named Michael J. Smith, who bears a striking resemblance to NASA Challenger pilot Michael J. Smith, with a 30-year time lapse considered, is found alive and well teaching at University of Wisconsin-Madison. If he were still alive, the Challenger pilot would be 77 years old today. Well, there just so happens to be a 77-year-old named Michael J. Smith living in Madison, Wisconsin, now professor emeritus at University of Wisconsin-Madison. So what are the odds? But we have, of all these people, we have finally, now this is something I really only became aware of in just the past, 6 months to a year, when I first started looking into all this stuff, and some of this other information was available 5-6 years ago. This clip wasn't. This is fairly relatively recent, new, where a guy did some research and found out where Michael J. Smith lives.
Interesting.
Went up to his house, and we're going to see here in this next clip, but I wouldn't recommend doing this. You don't want to just go stalk people, but this guy did, and he got some interaction. He actually got some engagement about with the modern day Michael J. Smith.
Interesting. I wonder if the same guy did what I thought of with the previous guy, the father and the son, and ever detailed one of them to see if they ever met up for Thanksgiving or Christmas. You know what I'm saying? Like, he has the cojones to do this with this guy.
Those of us who have taken the time to peel back one of truth's protective layers have surely come across this image here. The story goes that 7 of the astronauts who died in the 1986 Challenger explosion are alive and well. And the pilot, Michael J. Smith, is a professor emeritus at UW-Madison. Because I live in the Madison area, looking up Michael Smith had been on my to-do list for a while. Of course, you can't just call up and leave a voice message asking him if he's part of an evil scheme to deceive the sleeping masses. A better way would be to find him in person and ask him. So that's what I did. Is Challenger pilot Michael J. Smith alive and well? Take a look at the footage and let me know what you think. Hey there. Hey, sorry to bother you. I was pulling out and I saw you. I just came by to... Are you Michael Smith?
Yeah.
Professor at university?
Retired.
Retired?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I just stopped by because there's this room. Are you aware of that there's a rumor on the internet?
It's not me.
That people are saying...
Yeah, it's not me, obviously. I mean, anybody that looks at my background, looks where I was born, it's not me. I mean, it's interesting that the Michael J. Smith that was the astronaut looks something like me when we were younger, but really not if you really look at facial recognition.
You never been a pilot, never been in the military?
Nothing like that.
Huh.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's all.
And I don't respond to the emails I get. I get probably an email, maybe 2 a month.
Really?
And I got one guy that's been really hounding me, and I turned it over to the FBI.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, it's supposed.
Okay.
Another crazy theory.
Okay.
But that's not me. I'm glad I wasn't him, but he was quite a guy.
Yeah.
But if you look at my career, you look at my CV that's online, all the stuff I've published, all that I've done, it's not even close to what that guy was.
Okay. Yeah, you just sure look a lot. It's the same name.
I know the facial thing, but that's what we looked like. What? 40 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. It's interesting you came all out here.
I did. I drove an hour. It's
No kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, take care.
Yes.
You really like it, don't you? You're the one who said you walked on the moon when you didn't. Calling the kettle black, if I ever thought of it. Saying I misrepresented myself.
Away from me.
You're a coward and a liar and a thief.
What is your proposition that we didn't go to the moon?
I know for a fact that you did. I know for a fact that you did not.
You know for a fact that we did not.
That's correct. And you'll see this tape proves that.
Okay, well, I'm not interested in satisfying your suppositions when there's all this evidence that we did.
This proves, as you see, that you were using the window to demonstrate that you were halfway to the moon when you were
Turn the camera off, please. Turn the camera off. You're full of shit.
Shows that you're in Earth orbit. Now, if the moon is 3 days away, and this is late, on the 18th, how could you possibly walk on the moon 2 days later when this was shot on the 18th? And
You want me to sit in front of a camera while you're taking pictures, you're showing this, and then you want to see my reaction?
I know for a fact that
That's
you didn't.
slimy journalism. Do you realize that?
If
You ought to be ashamed of
if you read the
yourself.
document that I have in here, you'll find that it's not. That this is a personal plea to do what is right.
Well, we sit and we talk about things ahead of
This is the
time.
document that you want to see. I know for a fact
But
that
what it is you're trying to do is unethical. You don't believe that?
No, I do not.
Well, then we have a difference of opinion.
This is where you're using the window of the spacecraft to appear to be the Earth far away. We got the raw footage of it. We have an auxiliary track, so I'm prompting you when to speak.
You believe in UFOs?
No, I do
Believe
not.
we've been visited by? Well, why do
No, I
you want to
don't.
believe this stuff?
I know for a fact. We've had this analyzed, and this is the window, and it's dated by an atomic clock at the Goldstone tracking station, which is on the tape.
Well, you're talking to the wrong guy. Why don't you talk to the administrator at NASA? We're passengers. We're guys going on a flight. We're not.
I know for a fact that it didn't happen.